Now, while we are all talking about coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria, Nigerian doctors have gone on indefinite strike. The Association of Resident Doctors, Abuja chapter, have announced they would be embarking on an indefinite strike beginning from yesterday, the 17th of March, amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Rising from an emergency meeting yesterday morning, the doctors, in a statement released by its president, Roland Aigbovo, said they deliberated extensively on the health threat posed by the coronavirus scare, their work conditions and patient care before arriving at the difficult decision to go on an indefinite strike. According to the aggrieved doctors, the decision to embark on this strike at this time is due to the failure of the FCT administration to pay them their basic salaries for more than 2 months. There's been salary irregularities and shortfalls since the migration to the integrated personnel and payroll information system by the FCTA. Now, the doctors also made it known that hazard allowance for medical doctors in Nigeria is only 5,000 naira.
Just like, it's even good because they share the same hazard allowance with LASMA.
Exactly.
Because now LASMA is 5,000, now they move it to 10,000.
10,000.
Because that was the only thing that Governor Sanwo-Olu had.
Thank you for saying that, because you know when this administration, my job is to disseminate information. When this administration came on board, the first thing we heard was he was going to increase double the salary of LASMA officials. Please don't run with that because it is not true. The only thing that was doubled is this hazard allowance, 5,000 to 10,000 shikena.
In fact, when I had the information, because I have somebody that I sent to school that is in LASMA now, so I said, oh boy, don't call me for any token or any pocom again. He said, he now printed the payslip and give it to me, and I saw it. He said it's hazard allowance, so that one is confirmed. On this issue of the doctor, I don't know what happened to our administrators in every state. I don't know. That's the reason why some of us are lecturers. When we say IPPS is not good for some certain sector of economy, some people that are not lecturers, they didn't understand. This IPPS did not give room for all those allowances. All those, there are some certain allowances you get. For instance, now, if you are taking, by the issue of Ebola in Lagos the other time, a lot of health workers, they were rich because daily they have allowances they are taking. So
because of the emergency on ground.
So the same thing is applicable here.
Yeah.
We just want to beg the FCT administrators. We know that we don't have adequate health facilities. But all these doctors, they are mostly trying to make the body and soul together. Please, with the level of health facilities we have in Nigeria, when these doctors are now on strike again, it's double wala for their body. Then another thing again is this. I don't see the reason why. I always think, and I don't know how to think it, that an employer will go to bed, will sleep, and the employee will not get full salary for 2 months, and you can sleep, and you will not have a bad dream.
No nightmare.
No nightmare, because I can't understand. Because those people, they have families, they have those people that rely on them, and not for doctors. You know, there are some certain set of people in Nigeria that they should not go on strike. You see, all those medical personnel, lecturers, although our own, government doesn't even care, because they don't know that all the children they give back to them deaf and dumb. It's the teachers and lecturers that make them human beings. So then another thing is judiciary. They're not supposed to be good. All those very important ministries, they're supposed to go on strike. What is important is that the head of Senate Committee on FCT and the House of Rep Committee on FCT, they are the one in charge. They should try more to so talk to all these administrators. Pay these particular doctors. Let us go back to work. Or else, we still have a lot of now. Very soon now, we are going to get to rainy season. And we know some diseases that always go with that particular time. Who is going to be taking care of all these people? And health centers.
Okay.
That is another thing. Please.
All right. Okay, Chooks, let me hear from you. Of course, we know how this doctor strike, how it works. Now is the Abuja chapter. Tomorrow we're going to hear Lagos chapter has joined it, because really they all work in solidarity, you know what I mean? So, but then is this the right time for doctors to be going on strike?
I'll be very blunt. News like this makes me feel some people are not qualified to practice the profession they're practicing. At a time like this, medical doctors sat down and decided to go on strike. Highly insensitive and inhuman. For 2 months, these same doctors own private hospitals and they work for government and still operate their clinics. These same doctors are the ones that you come to the general hospital, they refer you to their personal clinics. They don't have any moral ground to even do what they are doing if we are to look into it. And that's why government is not entirely stupid. Government somehow, I think they now know the issues with general hospitals and government hospitals, because most of them are into private practice. You go to general hospital today and buy a card for treatment, the next thing the doctor gives you, they refer you to his personal clinic. That is even by the way. But the point I'm making is that it is not as a time like now. What exactly are you trying to prove? You are angry that they didn't pay you for 2 months, that you waited for when the country really needed you. And you think your own children are safe, your own mother is safe, your father is safe. That's highly insensitive of them. And that's why I supported Fashola in Lagos. It was Fashola that stopped this madness in Lagos. You can't be in my payroll as government and decide how I operate. It's either you don't like the job, then you walk out and take job somewhere else. I'm not trying to side the government. Government also, they have been very useless in terms of how they manage our health institutions. But what I'm saying is that we have to understand that some professions are just not like buying and selling. Because that's why you take oaths.
Because human lives are
involved. Lives are involved. So how dare anybody call for strike? And they will go home and they sleep. You are talking about doctors. Let's even argue, what exactly do doctors do in hospitals? This issue of coronavirus that we are battling now, it is environmental health officers have been on the field. Then maybe you find the nurses and maybe 1 or 2 doctors. So those ones too wake up tomorrow and say, environmental health officers at the airport, we are not doing again because they didn't pay us.
Okay.
I think we should be very serious in this.
All right, leadership.
Well, for me, it's a two-edged sword. Firstly, I will blame the Minister of FCT for not providing the oversight function as she should be. I understand that the sensitivity and the effort and the responsibility of doctors is so huge that it affects women's life. But at the same time, anybody who had worked is supposed to be paid. So if we're trying to copy the developed society, they don't do that abroad. They don't hold salaries. In fact, sometimes when these kind of scenarios, they pay them some additional fees. So we know that we are combating this ailment and this disease, and we are trying as much as possible to contain it. The government must be responsible to do the needful per time, and also the doctors as well, understanding that they have taken hold of responsibility while taking while taking up this duty. They understand that the responsibility is on the onus is on them to be responsible, even if they're going to be crying for their salaries. They should have at least waited a bit to make sure that this issue of coronavirus subside a bit, make sure that there is stability. Then at that point they can come up with that point. But sometimes I also don't blame them, because some of them might not, by claim they don't even have funds to go to work. So at that point, what do? You know, so if the doctor said they don't have money to even feed their family, how will you concentrate when you are at work, when you don't even have money to feed your family? So yeah, some of them I understand the reason why they may be acting in that manner, but the responsibility is on government to do the needful per time. They shouldn't have waited till they are owed 2 months' salary before they resolve this. Is it now that they are threatening to go on strike that they will now resolve it? What about people who are supposed to have discharged duties on? You know, so we actually need to be very patriotic and be responsible to whatever it is we are doing as a society.
What the doctors in Abuja just did is like on that Sunday when the explosion rocked Lagos, and then let the fire service men say we will not go there because they have not paid us. Who does that?
Okay. Shadrach from Oba says, good day, Madam Pat. Remember that Canada is a member of the Paris Club, and so Nigeria has not got the lever to do it. All right. This other one says, good afternoon, patients. It is not just to regulate the price, but to stop the use of fertilizers on our food. And if they should be trained on how to use it. Margaret from Oregon. All right, Margaret, you are yeah, exactly. We haven't gotten to that topic yet. This other one says, how do we manage the crowd in a face me, I face you accommodation? Ola from Ikorodu, especially with coronavirus. All right, federal government never took this seriously initially. They should have taken up the ban before now.
Thank you.
Ifeanyi Emmanuel sends that one in. All right, gentlemen. We hope that the FCT administrators, will be able to sit down with these doctors and sort this thing out in the quickest of time before this strike will now become, countrywide, and then every other doctor is down in tools, and then Nigerians are left.
Patience, nobody is going to down to in Lagos.
Okay.
Every governor should go and sit down with Fashola and find out exactly what he did in the health sector in Lagos.
Okay.
That since he left government, I have not had any health officer going on strike. Because you are being paid. Are you going to be paid for those days you are striking? Your salary structure is different from the other regular civil service because they put that into consideration. The health officers don't earn like every other civil servant.
No, even in a council, like in a local government, the highest paid personnel in local government is the medical doctor of that local government. Go and ask anywhere.
Nobody. So what
is this? Our politicians, our administrators should not make these doctors to be patient at the same time, because someone that is not well paid, even injurious, or that person will treat patient because it's a patient that wants to treat patient. Doctors should do the needful. You don't need to strive. We are talking about human, but the administrators don't doctors to patients or else you see that we're supposed to prescribe ampicillin, we will now prescribe artesunate. So it's very, very important too. Don't turn doctors to patients.
Okay.
Amen.
Kate says this is a way that the world is coming to an end. Let us be careful, because if the should get this coronavirus, we are all gone, my sister. Kate, when you send messages, don't discriminate against an ethnic group, okay? It is incisive, if you know what I mean. It can cause wahala. Let's not go there. Anybody can spread coronavirus. Doesn't have to do whether you're Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba. So let's leave it at that. It does not know.
It doesn't know ethnicity.
Okay.